Hi beautiful people. So I woke up this morning to a yarn inspiration picture from my sister, which was a copy of an Amigurumi doll which looks similar to what I have here. I will link it below. She often sends me little things that she sees that she likes. So I thought I've got a few hours spare today, I'll have a go at making it, and why not take you along with me? So I'm making this pattern up as we go, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. I'm going to begin with my fuchsia pink yarn and my 3.5mm needle or hook, and I'm going to do a slip knot onto my hook and chain 11. So if you want to see a basic list of crochet stitches, if you check out the description, I'll put a link to the playlist in there. So we're going to chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're going to do 1 single crochet in the second chain from hook, and then I'm going to single crochet 8 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet across into the next 8 chains. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nearly 6, 7 and 8, and into my last stitch I'm going to do 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So by doing the 4 single crochet, it has allowed me to turn my work around, so I can now work along the bottom side of the chains that I made. So I'm working into the opposite side of the foundation chain, so the bottom of the single crochets we've just worked. So I'm now going to single crochet 8 back again into the other half of the chains that we made. So that's 1 and 2. It can be a little bit tricky, so just take your time. 3, 4, get some yarn. 5, 6, 7 and 8, and into the last stitch of this side, which was the first stitch of our previous side, we're going to crochet 3, and that will give us a grand total of 4 stitches in this end stitch, because we did 1 on our first row and we've just done 3 in it on this row. So we now have 4 stitches at each end and 8 stitches on either side. Now for our next round, we're going to begin by single crocheting 3 into the first stitch of this round. 1, 2, 3. If you have problems remembering where the beginning of your round is, I'd suggest putting in a clip marker here to remind you. So 3 stitches into the first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and into the next stitch we're going to single crochet 3. 1, 2, 3, so 3 single crochets all into 1 stitch, and I'm going to single crochet 2 stitches, 1, 2, and 3 single crochet into the next stitch again, 1, 2 and 3, and then I'm going to single crochet 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, Now I'm going to do 3 single crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2 and 3, and then single crochet 1. After the last round we should now have 32 stitches, and to make it easier to decrease at the very end, so once we've built our lolly ice and we want to decrease at the top, I want to make the number of stitches I have to 36. I want to make it to a multiple of the number 6. So we have 32 stitches, I want it to be 36 stitches, so I'm going to add 4 stitches, and how I'm going to do that is by doing 1 increase in each of the corners. Okay, so what I'm going to do is single crochet 1, then I'm going to single crochet 2 into my next stitch. Then I'm going to single crochet 10. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now I'm going to do another increase. I'm going to single crochet 2 into the next stitch. So 2 single crochets into this stitch. So that is 1, nearly. And 2. And then I'm going to single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I'm going to single crochet 2 into the next stitch, 1 and 2. Now I'm going to single crochet 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Get some more yarn. Spend my life retrieving yarn. 7, 8, 9 and 10. Then we're going to do 2 single crochets into the next stitch. That's 1 and 2. And then I'm going to single crochet 3. 1, 2 and 3. So we've now increased our piece of work to 36 stitches. We've now finished our bottom increases, and we are now going to change the direction of our work. So instead of working outwards, we're going to turn the stitches so the stitches begin to work upwards. And this is done partly by just single crocheting around with the same number of stitches repeatedly and doing no increases. And also we're going to accomplish this by single crocheting into the back loop only of 1 round. So what this means is, for this round only, we're going to single crochet into the back loop of the stitch, of every single stitch. So in every stitch has 2 legs, and we don't want to go through both legs, we want to go through the back leg only, and this is going to change the direction of our work to add a bend and allow us to work up. So we're going to do 36 back loop single crochets, so back loop only single crochet around. So that was 1 and 2, 2, 33, 34, 35 and 36. So we've done 36 back loop only single crochets, and if you can see, the work is already starting to turn, but we just want it to turn the opposite way. So by working in the loop that we worked, is given the piece of work a natural inclination to start tilting upwards, and that's what we want, because we're going to start making our nice lolly ice all the way up. So now we're going to do 8 rounds of single crochet ordinarily. So we're going to put our hook through both legs again and single crochet, and we're going to single crochet all the way around 8 times. So if you're no good at counting your stitches, as I say, I would put in a clip marker here, a stitch marker, and you will know how many rows you've done from that stitch marker. So I'll do my 8 rows and I will be back to show you a colour change. Okie doke, so I'm coming up to the last stitch on the 8th round, and this is going to involve a colour change. So I'm going to be going from pink yarn to white yarn. So I'm going to insert my hook into my last stitch of pink, and I'm going to pull through a loop. So this is how I do colour change in single crochet. And then I'm going to bring over my white yarn with about a 4 or 5 inch tail. I'm going to hook it and pull it through both loops. And then I'm going to take the tail and I'm just going to hold it behind for the time being. And then I can continue. I'll do a slip stitch in the first stitch with the white, and into that same stitch I'll do a single crochet, and then I'll go back to the tails of the pink and the white. I'll cut the pink yarn off and I'll pull the tails really tight, and that is the colour change done. And because I absolutely hate weaving in ends, I love crocheting, I hate weaving in ends, I'm going to hold the 2 tails behind my work, and for the next couple of stitches I'm just going to hook them behind, and at least I won't have to weave them in at the end of the work then. So we've done a colour change to white, we're weaving in our ends as we go. That was 3 stitches with the ends in, so I can now release them. And now we're going to do 8 rounds in white, 8 rounds of single crochet, just like the pink but in white. So as I come to the end of my white, and I'm going to change again colour to blue, I'll come back, show you a colour change again, and we'll go from there. So I'm just coming up to the last couple of stitches on my 8th row of white. And I'm going to do a colour change, and I'm going to change it to a blue. So here's my last stitch. I'm going to insert the hook and pull a loop through, so I've got 2 loops of white. I'm going to cut about a 6 inch tail of white so we can get that out the way. And then I'm going to introduce the blue yarn, leaving again a 5 to 6 inch tail. I'm going to put it on my hook and I'm going to pull through the 2 loops on my hook with the blue and hold the tail in the back. So to complete the colour change with the blue into the next stitch, I'm going to do a slip stitch and then 1 single crochet, all in the same stitch, and that is my colour change complete. So I'm going to go to the inside of my work, pull the 2 tails tight, and again I'm going to weave them into my work. So I'm going to make sure both of the tails are between my hook and the yarn when I'm doing a single crochet, in order to keep them there to prevent me weaving them in. So I've now got another 8 rows or 8 rounds of single crochet in blue, and I'll be back when I'm almost there. So we've just finished the 8th round of blue, and before I begin my decreases or before I start to stuff, what I want to do is I want to put in 2 safety eyes, because we're going to make this Lolly Ice extra happy. Now where you put your eyes is up to you. I will figure it out and then I'll tell you where I've put them. So I'm going to put 1 there, and let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that looks about right. So I have put them in my white 1, 2, 3, 4 between the 4th and 5th row, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches apart. Actually, I'm going to move this eye over 1 stitch so that they are 8 stitches apart. I'm going to secure them into place, my safety eyes, with the safety back clips. Make sure you're happy where they are before you put these on, because getting them back off is extremely hard. Right, so that is the eye secured. And now we can begin our decreases at the top. So it's now time to decrease at the top, and we're going to decrease slowly in order to get an oval closing at the top instead of just a flat closing, to make it more lolly ice like, if you like. So we're going to do this by decreasing on every 5th stitch. So we've got 36 stitches, and we're going to decrease 6 times so that we have 30 stitches. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to decrease on every 5th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're up to number 5, and I'm going to decrease by putting my stitch in the front loop of the first stitch, the front loop of the 2nd stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So that was our first decrease at our 5th stitch. So now we're going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we're going to do a decrease on the 10th stitch. So I'm going to put my hook through the front loop of the first stitch, the front loop of the 2nd stitch, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. That's the 10th stitch. 11, 12, 13, 14, and we're going to decrease again at 15. Single crochet 16, 17, 18, 19, and decrease at 20. Then we have 21, 22, 23, 24, and decrease at 25. Then we have 26, 27, 28, 29, and a decrease of 30. So we've done our first row of decreases, and for our next row we're just going to single crochet into every stitch. So we're going to single crochet 30 times. I'll be back when I've finished this row. So I've just finished my round of single crocheting around for 30 stitches, and before we go any further, we're going to want to stuff our ice lolly, because if this hole gets any smaller, I'm going to pull my loop through so I don't lose it. If the hole gets any smaller, I'm going to find it really difficult to stuff it properly. So whatever polyfill you're using, you want to stuff it nice and firm even. I've just been watching Bates Motel, and it's brilliant, and I'm up to the last episode, so once I finish this I get to watch till the last season finale. It's sad when a TV series ends, so I'm going to have to try and find something else to watch. Okay, so I'm putting as much stuffing in as I can. You don't want it to be too loose, and you don't want it to be overstuffed that you can see through. We will do a final stuff at the end, just to make sure the last few decreases are stuffed. Okay. I don't want it to look overly rounded because it's meant to be a rectangular shape, so I'm going to take some out for now. Okay, and I can continue with the top, and at the very end we will reposition all the little bits to make it look even neater. So at the moment we've got 30 stitches and we want to reduce to 24 stitches. So that means we're going to decrease on every 4th stitch. And to do that, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to decrease 3 and decrease on 4. When you have stuffed your work, it becomes a little bit more difficult to crochet around, but if you can handle the fiddliness, you'll get it done. So 5, 6, 7, and decrease on 8, 9, and 10, 11, and decrease on 12, 13, 14, 15, decrease on 16, 17, 18, 19, and a decrease on 20, then we have 21, 22, 23, and a decrease on 24. So we've taken our stitches from 30 stitches to 24 stitches. The next round is just to single crochet around for 24 stitches. So we're doing no decreases on this round, we're just going to single crochet right around until we're back to the beginning. Now that we're back to the beginning, we're going to do our last decrease round, and we're going to decrease our stitches from 24 stitches to 18 stitches. So we're going to have to do 6 decreases for this, and we're going to decrease on every third stitch. So we're going to do 1, 2, and we're going to decrease on 3, 4, 5, and we're going to decrease on 6. 7, 8, and we're going to decrease on 9, 10, and 11, and we're going to decrease on 12, 13 and 14, and we're going to decrease at 15, 16, 17, and our final decrease, we're going to decrease at 18. And then I am going to leave a long yarn because I'm going to mattress stitch the top together. So I'm going to pull the yarn through, and then I can use more filling to fill in the very top. And because it's a rectangle, I want to close the top together this way instead of to continue to decrease and it become a circle, because it will just make it look more oval, whereas I want to keep the rectangular shape that we've made. So I'm going to take my needle, my embroidery needle, and I'm going to thread my yarn. I'm going to mattress stitch the end of these stitches together, and I'm going to do this by going in between one stitch on one. I'm just going to move the yarn into the center. I'm going to take one stitch from one side, and then the second stitch from the opposite side and pull tight. Then I'll take the next stitch from the first side and the next stitch from the second side. And this is going to give us a really neat close. As you'll see in a minute. It's a little bit difficult when I'm sewing, holding the work away from me so the camera can see. I'm used to holding my work right under my nose. But I'll get used to it. There we go. So I've just finished mattress stitching it up together, and then I can thread the needle through the work. May as well weave the yarn in whilst I'm at it. You can see that's given us a nice little closing at the top. And then I'm going to thread the yarn through the body of our piece a couple of times in an effort to lose the yarn. So if I cut that out, there should be no chance of that finding its way out and unravelling. And we have the basic shape of our lolly ice, and we've just got a few little bits to do to make a finish. Next we'll be making his cheeks, so I've already made one. I'm going to make the second one. So I'm going to slip stitch onto my hook and I'm going to chain 2. And I'm going to do 6 single crochet in the second chain from hook. So in this second chain I'm going to do 6 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. And doing 6 will automatically make a ring. And then we want to slip stitch into the first stitch we made. So if you just want to loosen that first stitch off to make it easier to get your hook into, and slip stitch. And then we're going to fasten off. And there we have his cheeks. So I'm just going to weave his ends in, weave the ends in on the cheeks, and then I'll show you how I'm going to attach them. There are a number of ways that we can attach these cheeks. We can sew them on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to super glue them on, and it's just a quicker way, and it means that the cheeks are protruding a little bit, because when you sew them on you're going to attach a cheek completely down to the stitch below, but we're not going to get that effect with our super glue. So you want to put the cheeks under his eyes and just a little bit off centre until you're happy with them. Then I'm going to take my super glue, so I'm using industrial super glue, and I'm going to put a bead of super glue onto my lolly ice, and then I'm going to attach my cheek. I'm going to hold that in place for a couple of seconds, and I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. Be careful if you're working with super glue, because I have stuck my fingers together plenty of times with this. And I'm happy with that. Press them down. And whilst they're drying, we could do his mouth. So I've threaded a piece of black yarn onto my embroidery hook, and I'm going to come in from the back, and we're going to give him, we're going to give her, whoever she wants, whatever it wants to be, we're going to give it a nice smile, nice happy smile. So I'm going to come out through the centre, between the two cheeks, and go slightly off to the side. There's half the smile. And then we'll go return back into the stitch where we began and come out the back of the work. There's a nice little smile. Now with the bits that are coming out the back, I'm just going to thread these or weave them in by sewing them in and out of various places in the body and cut them off. And now we can attach his sprinkles. No ice lolly would be complete without a load of sprinkles on the top. So I've cut a couple of various colours, bright colours of yarn that I have, including the white and the pink, to integrate it into the top of the ice lolly. And I'm going to thread these to look like sprinkles. So if we start with our white yarn, we thread it onto my embroidery hook. And you're going to come in wherever you like. And we're going to do about 2 stitches or 1 stitch of sprinkles randomly all over his head, the blue part of his head. And remember, we've got another 5 colours to do this with, so we don't want to completely fill it up with white, but the randomer the better. We'll go this way. We'll put one in the centre here. So I'm just going to do the front for now, but you would do this all over the head. And then I would not cut my yarn, I'd leave it attached for now until you see if there's any gaps where you want to put another white stitch. So I'll get my next colour, which would be my pink, and I'm going to attach that to my hook. We're going to do the same thing, come in from the side, and we're going to do a load of random sprinkles but in pink. Starting to look like a Lolly Ice now for a while. I don't know what he looked like. Okay, so just put the last one over here. And if you do them too tight, remember to just pull them. You don't want to have your sprinkles really tight on the top of his head. I'm going to take that out the back and keep that yarn tail long. I'm not going to cut that at the moment because we might need to fill in with some pink. And then I'm going to take, I found this lime green, which I don't use for many projects because there's not many projects called for lime green, but I thought sprinkles might be a good idea, and we're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to do this with all the colours that I have, so I've got 5 different colours, and I'll come back to show you the end result of his sprinkles. Sprinkles done. I even ended up doing the back. It just didn't look right to leave it bare. So the last thing we're going to do is create our Lolly Ice stick. So I found this lovely tan colour. I didn't want it to be too dark, so I thought I'd use this. And we're going to slip knot onto our hook, and I'm going to chain 2. And then going to do 6 single crochet into the second chain from hook. So just like we did for his cheeks, we're doing that again. 4, 5 and 6. And now for our second round, because we're not going to chain and turn, we're going to continue going around. We're going to do 2 stitches into every single crochet. So we're going to increase our stitch count from 6 to 12. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. And what we are going to do now for the next 10 rounds is just single crochet around repeatedly. And this is going to give us our stick, and then we can stuff it and sew it onto our Lolly Ice. So I'll do my 10 rounds of single crochet. I'll be back to show you how to sew it on, and we can complete our project together. I've finished the 10 rounds of my stick. I've fastened off and I've stuffed it firmly because we want this to support itself. And we're going to sew it onto the bottom of our ice lolly. So I'm going to hold it into place, and I'm going to sew this into place going round. So I'm going to take a stitch from the bottom of the ice lolly and then go between 2 stitches on the stick. Another stitch on the bottom of the ice lolly, and then in between the next 2 stitches on the stick. There's various ways that you might want to sew it on, but this is just the method that I'm implementing at the minute. I'm going to make sure it's on nice and tight. I was hoping with doing a Lolly Ice the weather might pick up outside, but we actually had thunder and lightning here in Liverpool before. So I don't think there's any sign of the sunshine coming out today. So we're nearly there now. This project has taken me 2 hours here or there to complete, with a few start and stops. So it's it's a project you can get done if you've got a few hours spare. And the amigurumi like this, they just make your house look better. I put them on shelves or next to bowls with sweets in, or even I give them to my nieces. Just makes everything feel a bit brighter and happier. So there we are, coming up to our last couple of stitches. I'm going to weave this in the end, and I'm going to cut this tail off. Give them a little squeeze about, and there we are. We have, if I zoom out a bit, our finished lolly ice. I'll take some pictures and put them on the end, but I will have a free pattern for this tutorial on my Ravelry webpage, so I'll put the link to that below. Please like or comment. I'll be extremely grateful, and I'll continue to do free tutorials. And have a lovely day. Bye now.